All right, YouTube, 106 Falconer, just with a quick video here. If you have a 2-cycle, whatever, chainsaw, whatever 2-cycle, if it fires up on choke, but then will not run when you release the choke, check your low idle screw on your carburetor. This is my pulling chainsaw. I got the top loose now, so I can show you. Well, I'll show you here real quick. On the cover here, you can see it has L and H here, where your low idle and high idle jets are, right there. This thing ran fine, and I ran out of gas. Very low hour saw for as old as it is. I don't know if you saw my other video where I just got it back after like 10 years. Fired right up, ran like a top, ran out of gas, and the thing would not run again. I mean, it'd fire up on choke it up, high idle, but the minute you throttled her up there, dead. Boom. Almost like the freaking chain brake was on. So I had this thing tore apart. I had the freaking exhaust off, checking the piston, rang. Took the carburetor off, had that all tore apart, and the freaking carburetor was like pristine. What it ended up being was when I pulled this apart. All right. Well, I tried adjusting it with this freaking safety crap on there that they put on there to keep you from doing anything, and then you got these little plastic caps that just slide over the heads of your needle valves or jets, whatever the hell you call them freaking things. But with these on there, you can only get about a quarter turn in or out of adjustment. So I tried turning out the low idle screw so it idle up, but even using what I had there didn't work. So pulled that off, looked online. What's the start? This is a Walbro carburetor. This is a WT 610, which is not available anymore. The replacement for this is a WT 834. And you can get a freaking Chinese carburetor with a filter, air filter, fuel lines, and a spark plug for like $12 freaking, free shipping. But anyways, if you don't want to go that route, you got everything tore apart, everything looks fine. And well, either way, if you try to start it on choke and it won't high idle for you, you'll want to adjust your high idle screw, which on this here is on the right. And conversely, if it was doing like this does or did, where it would start fine on choke, high idle, boing, but the minute you throttle it up, it just died. Boom. So this it ended up being the low idle screw, which is on the left on here. I had to turn that out almost a full turn. Now when I tore it apart, took the carburetor off, this thing here just pulls off. These plastic caps are just like pressure fit on there. They just slide right off. So initially tearing it apart, I'll show you here. Oh, it's all wet from the snow. Where the hell we at? Well, anyways, low, when I turned that, what I did is I took that safety shit off, turned it in until it seats. I mean, you just turn it in, you know, till it touches. Anyway, then you count the turns. That was like a 1 9/16 turn. It was basically 1.5 turns heavy on half, and the high idle was basically 1 5/8 turns. Now I didn't have to do anything with the high idle, but when I pulled the carburetor off, I cleaned it up, carb cleaner, blew it out. Like I say, everything, diaphragms, everything were perfect on there. Put it back together the exact way I tore it apart, and it was doing the same thing. So the low idle, I had to turn that out almost a full turn past what it was set at from the factory. And now she runs like a freaking raped ape again. I just used it this morning, fired up. Of course, you know, it was cold. It took like 3 tries to get it to stay on the fast idle, and a little trigger time there to get the low idle to stay go. But other than that, runs freaking awesome now. So if you have that issue with, you know, starting on choke, but then when you throttle it up it dies, check that freaking low idle screw, if your carburetor has it. But I'll show you, I think on eBay, the 834 kit, which, I mean, this stuff is so cheap, and I've used them Chinese knockoff carburetors on several things, and I've never had an issue with them. So, but anyway, so that's it. That's a quick video. All right, see ya, bitches.